Well, that is a nice copper coin, but oh, Doug, do you know what time it is?
45 up.
Who says 45 of, Doug? It's quarter after. What's up, guys? Court Order here. And who says 45 of? Dog Tag Doug says it. Got a fun show tonight. My new friend, Chris Turner, founder of the RingFinders. Wait till you hear about this thing and what a juggernaut it's become of smiles on faces all over the world. You guys are going to love it. I'm really excited to have him on and talk about it. Bethesda Ministries, DBA Chaplains for Chains. Thank you very much for the super sticker. We'll have everybody coming on in a second. I wanted to say I saw some moderators in. Hello to Teresa, the treasure hunter, and Hot Mess Fishing, Alicia, who's here every single week helping out with the show. So thank you guys both very much. And I'll do a couple of hellos before I bring everybody in. I see Relic Rat recovering artifacts together. How are you? Sue Ramsey's here. 5 Mile Relic Hunter is here. 925 Einder, fellow Canadian, along with Chris today. What's up, buddy? Coils for Foils are here. Bottle Cap, Magic Mantex, I hope Magic Man Texas, maybe. I'm sorry, brother. I don't know. I messed that up. Rick Rarg is here. Everybody, welcome everyone to the show. And hey, talking about Texas, I'm going to bring in the first of my co-hosts from a strange place this week. Mr. Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fond Doug. Doug, it looks like you're sitting on a toilet.
No, it's at the other end of the trailer. I'm in Grapevine, Texas, right outside of DFW Airport, and
Awesome.
Sitting in my son's Airstream. Nice and cool in here. It's felt like about 100 outside, but it's nice in here.
It looks good. I like the angle.
And I am not sitting on a toilet.
Just don't sneeze, because it looks like you're just going to splatter all over the phone.
Okay.
Or at least try to look up.
Okay.
But welcome. I'm glad you made it. I know you're on vacation. I'm glad you made some time. It's going to be a fun show with Chris. Does an incredible service to the world. You're going to love it, Doug.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of ironic that we have him on now, because for some reason we're finding an inordinate amount of jewelry these days. So it's kind of appropriate that we have him on.
Yeah. I told him a little bit in the pre-show. You know, we've dabbled in some returns, but his are, a lot of our returns is we stumble across something and then try to find that person in the world, which is still very noble. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But what he does is people reach out to him, perfect strangers, and say, hey, I lost my ring, my earrings, my neck, whatever it was, sentimental or valuable. And himself or another member of this incredible network of detectorists will go out on their own time, their own gas, get out there and try to find this item in wherever setting they lost it. So It's a little different. Like, we're doing what we love to do anyway. They're going out specifically for that
item.
So it's almost more of a job. I mean, a job you better love, because you're really performing a service. But it's just, I don't know. I just find it really incredible what they're doing. I find it to be just, a smile on face thing, a feel good story, Doug.
Right.
So, but talking about a feel good story, let's bring in Lindiana Jones, because I feel good.
Hey.
I'm not even sure what that means, Lynn. How are you, Lynn?
Good. How's everybody?
We're good. And you just got back in town, from what I understand.
Just got back from New Hampshire and then leave for New York tomorrow.
Yeah. This weekend's going to be weird, because you're going to be away, Doug's away, Rich is away. It might just be me, Charlie, and Jessica somewhere. I don't know yet. We're going to find out. Last week, it was me, Charlie, and Jessica. And man, I found something amazing, Doug. I don't know if you stumbled across my Facebook. A coin I've never found before. Don't say what it is yet, in case people
let me just say, I don't stumble across your Facebook. I intentionally look up your posts.
Because you're a stalker, that's why.
That's why. But you had sent me a picture of it already, and I was quite aware and very envious of that find.
Yeah, it's nice when you find. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that we found everything ever made. Far from it.
No.
But when it comes to coins, there's not many coins that we haven't found. Someone in our group. I mean, we've been doing it so long. So when a new coin is found, it's super duper exciting, Doug. And that's what it was. It was super duper exciting.
Right.
So
And not only super duper to find, but a find that was in very good condition. So
well, that's subjective. It was all right.
well, for being in the ground as long as it was, it's in very nice shape.
I'm happy. I'm not going to hawk it for a bus ticket to come visit you in Texas.
I'll make a trade with you if you're not happy with it.
All right, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that. Let me bring in, of course, the bearded wonder himself, Mr. Rich Van Winkle. And look, he's got a lamp this week. I could see him.
I have a lamp. Yep.
Usually
How is everybody?
so dark.
How is everybody?
We are good, Rich.
We got lantern flies here. Does that count?
Oh, you have lantern flies down there. I haven't seen them up here in a while.
Yeah.
Jay, did you know that coin existed?
No, I didn't know it existed.
Me either. I didn't either.
I didn't even know what it was. It was covered in like mud, and when I pulled it out, I mean, I recognized that I didn't recognize it, and that was exciting in its own right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the slow reveal, trying to spray that mud off, it really drew out the anticipation, which I live for. I live for that stuff, and I didn't even have to do anything. It was like clay, so it just took forever to spritz off, and like every spritz would reveal another millimeter. So I really got to like soak in the anticipation, and I wasn't disappointed. So that's my little exciting news. And we had a great day besides that, and we even had Jess's husband joined us, his first full day detecting ever. Got him out there off the Pro Bass Tour. Brought him a triple score. No, I brought him a legend. And all day he was out there hunting right alongside of us.
Who's cracking walnuts?
Oh, it's me. It's a bag of ice.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I got stung a bunch of times today by yellow jackets, and my hands.
Are they out already?
Yeah, well, they are in our yard.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So, and for some reason, it's hurting.
Yeah. After the first one stung you, why didn't you get out of there?
Well, I got stung at the same time, one on each hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did your hand blow up?
It blew up a little bit, not like an allergy type of thing, but it's for some reason, bee stings usually hurt like crazy for 10 minutes and then you're okay. Well, these have been hurting for 4 hours.
Yellow jackets are nasty. They're nasty little buggers.
So I read
they attack in swarms.
Yeah.
Yep. So I did get out of there before the rest. They were coming after me, and I only got 2 stings, but
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, Jess told me about last weekend, and she keeps finding some unique things.
Yeah, the thing she found, I didn't even put that picture on Facebook yet. That'll probably be maybe tomorrow. That thing was incredible too. Sometimes it works out that way. Like, we didn't have the greatest day. If you think about, there was 4 of us hunting 11 hours. But when you just see the highlights of what was found, it looks like, wow, you guys are on an incredible spot. But I mean, it was like, a find an hour between the 4 of us. But those 8 or 9 cumulative finds were terrific. And that's how it goes sometimes. It's the highlights always look better than if you're out there actually doing it in the heat, walking miles and miles. And that's
because you don't show the trash. So
well, it's not that I hide the trash, but I don't want to bore people with trash. But I mean,
let's sometime soon. Let's dump all our trash in a pile at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You can just do 1 minute on this is our trash. And
yep. people
minute's
believe
a long time.
we don't dig trash.
I'll pan across.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to do a whole minute on garbage, but
There might be some silver in there.
Yeah. But I got 3 minutes, and I'm going to bring in Chris. He's in the green room. I see him.
So no Charlie, huh?
I don't know. What's really weird is Charlie texted me 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the show, and his text said, "I will be available tonight. Sorry." And then I was like, well, does that mean like, sorry, I didn't get back to you earlier? Or does that mean I will not be available tonight? But he left out the key word in that text.
Not.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what happened.
I'm leaning towards he left.
I'm leaning towards that assumption.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a very confusing text.
Yes.
And I just wrote him back, thanks.
Yeah.
It covers everything.
I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Yep.
But it's summertime. Summer's tough. Like I said, he's probably down at the shore house. You know, you guys are all over the world. So I'm glad I'm able to get anybody to come in during the summer. So thank you. And I was part of the show last night, Doug. I don't know if you saw it, but Relics Radio, Tony and Ken were doing a whole show dedicated to Loy, Digging with Seven. So I popped in there. It was great. You know, everyone kind of telling stories. Plugmaster 4 was in there. Matt Howe was in there. You know, a lot of former guests. Everyone kind of telling stories about Loy. He was really impactful in the hobby for, you know, a long, long time.
A lot of years, yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice. It was nice everyone came together and, you know, had a nice time under the sad circumstances, you know, just kind of hearing stories and reminiscing.
How old was he? Do you know?
He was born the same year you were born, Doug, 1950. In fact, I think you're a month older. I think when they put it up, it said he was December 1950. And you never know. You know, you could be 100 years old. You could be 5 years old. You never know when your number comes up. So, you know.
That's one lottery I don't want to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Be nice to your loved ones. Be nice to your friends. And enjoy every day like it could be your last.
It could be.
So stop being such a jerk to everybody, Doug.
Okay.
All right. But no, anyway, let's bring in Chris. I see him patiently waiting.
Okay.
If you're not familiar with it, you're going to learn all about it today. The RingFinders group is an incredible group of detectorists all over the world, Doug. Where if you you're in Texas this week, if you or your wife lost a ring, an earring, what do? You don't have your detector there, but you can go to RingFinders, find a local detectorist who will come out right away or as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And help you find that item. These are people that are experienced with proven track records, friendly, personable, and in your darkest hour of anxiety and stress, they will come out and get the job done. I find it to be an incredible service, and this is the man who founded it and created the whole thing from scratch. So let's bring him in, my new friend, Chris Turner. Let me get you on the big screen, Chris. Hold on. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Okay, you may speak, my friend.
Hello. Hi. How you doing, Doug,
Hello.
Linda?
Hey.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
So, Chris, I appreciate you making the time to come on. I'm real excited about it. I want everyone to kind of hear. And there's going to be enough detectorists here tonight. If anyone in their area wants to try to sign up, it might be a good fit for both you and them. So keep your ears to the grindstone because this could be an exciting thing for everybody. But let's start at the beginning, Chris. You know, something like this has been your passion for so many years. I got to ask, how did you even first get into metal detecting, even as a hobby, before it ballooned to what it is today?
Great question, Jason. It was a Field and Stream magazine of my father's that I happened to be flipping through back in 1972, I think it was.
Wow.
And I saw a metal detector. It was a Metrotech. It was a British-made metal detector. And I asked my dad, what is that? What does it do? And he says, that finds treasure. And I said, I want one. He goes, get a job. So, so I got a job at a chicken farm. I worked all summer at a chicken farm. And I bought my first metal detector. It was a Metrotech.
I never had heard of that one. Did it have knobs and needles?
It had one turn-on knob. It had a red speaker that you plugged into the side of it, and it was probably a BMO technology, I think, back then, if I'm correct. And it just beeped on everything.
Did it run off like 12D batteries? It was like
No. This one had a really unusual, like a double positive battery that you can only get in the UK. So I had to chip away from them. I soon after that bought a Coin Master with about a dozen batteries.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, the really heavy ones. But this got me hooked. I absolutely loved playing with it. And strangely enough, one of my first ring recoveries was my next door neighbor saw me in the backyard practicing with it. She goes, "Christopher, what is that?" And I said, "It's a metal detector." She goes, "What does it do?" And I said, "It finds treasure." And she thought about it for a second. She goes, "Could it find a ring?" And I said, "Yeah." Because I lost my ring in the garden about 5 years ago. And I said, "Oh." So I jumped up in her property and I searched, and about 20 minutes later, I found her ring.
Wow.
And I thought nothing of it. Like, it was just like, "Oh, cool. Here." And it was a diamond ring. And I handed it to her. And I remember looking at her. She was like this for probably 10 minutes. She didn't move. Her jaw was just like that. And I got back to my backyard because Dad, buried some silver coins for me to find. And I never got a thank you or anything. And that Friday, 2 days later, I had a homemade apple pie on the doorstep with a thank you note. And every Friday for a year, I got a homemade apple pie.
Wow.
And that's why you're 400 pounds now.
That's why I'm 400 pounds now. Back then, I could eat like that. That was no problem. Now you're right. But that was my first experience of returning a ring. And I look back at that and just smile. It was like I had no idea I was going to take that and turn it into this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, wow. I mean, especially when you get something memorable in your early detecting career, even if you're a little kid, if you get something really good, I find that from talking to people, you're really hooked for life.
Yes.
And it becomes really lucky because if you start detecting and 2-3 trips out, you find nothing but trash. A lot of those people, the machine goes in the closet and ends up at a garage sale.
100%.
We're a nice breed where we got lucky and found something interesting early that kept our interest. And now, decades later, we still get enjoyment from doing this one way or the other.
100%. I look back at the days I was detecting, pretty much every coin you found was silver because I started in 72. And we all know like 66 is when silver stopped for us.
Yeah, no doubt.
667. So most of everything I was finding was silver coins, and I got the odd gold, and it kept me so excited about relic hunting. And I took it to a whole nother level by going to Europe, years later.
I didn't mean to do that, but I'm going to I'll jump into it real quick because I wanted to touch on real fast, Doug, before we move into it. Before he gets into the RingFinders, he had a really interesting career path where, oh, look, there's Gigmaster, our friend Steve, who kind of clued me into this. But Chris was actually in an episode as an actor of 21 Jump Street, Doug.
Really?
And if you look, this is Chris over here, and this is none other than Johnny Depp sharing a scene on 21 Jump Street. So how's that for a feather in the cap?
Wow.
And I think I even have, there's the credits from the end of the episode. Chris Turner as bartender.
I had one line. I counted it already. I was so nervous. That was my first ever acting gig. And I had no idea who Johnny Depp was. I mean, he looked like a baby in that.
Yeah, he was young.
But he was going off about Elvis. He's going, Elvis is still alive. He's at Burger King having a Whopper. And he was just cracking me up. I went, man, will you shut up? And he's like, what? I go, I got one line. This is my first part. I can't even remember my line. I go, yeah. He just started laughing. Oh, you're going to be fine. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, and then besides that, Doug, even earlier, I believe, and we're just going to touch on it for a second, but Chris was a professional soccer goalie for what, like 5 or 6 years, Chris?
Yeah, about 7 years. That was, that was the San Jose Earthquakes. I played with the San Jose Earthquakes, LA Aztecs, San Diego Sockers, Seattle
Wow.
Sounders, the Vancouver Whitecaps, and I played for Canada.
Yeah, and when I looked it up, you got four what I think they called them caps, and a
Yeah.
cap is when you represent your country in international play. So he really got to accomplish a lot. My only question about it is a lot of the pictures from the soccer are all in black and white. You didn't play that long. It's not like you played in the 30s.
Yeah, Matthew Brady did that picture right there.
Oh, that's funny.
What an awesome shot that is.
That's funny.
So,
Yeah, no, I was in the, I graduated out of high school and went right into professional from high school. So that would have been like 78, 79.
well, that's a pretty incredible thing, though. To be able to say that you were a professional athlete, dabbled in acting, but then what really got, going back to your roots again, you got involved with metal detecting and started up this RingFinders.
Yes.
Can you give me a little background of how did you even get the concept before you even reached out to other people and opened it up? How did you say, you know what, I'm going to try to do this on a more professional level, try to be someone that, could be a resource for people? How did you even get that concept?
It came to me with a bit of help, and it was, I believe, 1984. I had a career-ending injury playing for Canada against Italy. That ended my career. So 86, I took some money, bought a boat in LA, had a 65 Corvette, and I just enjoyed life for a while. And I would hit the beaches early morning. I'd like to do it before anybody got there. And I'd be detecting the beaches. And one morning, it was just getting light out. Some guy's charging down the beach at me, yelling and screaming. And I'm like getting ready, like, okay, this guy's coming at me. And as he got closer, I could hear, help, help, help. And I'm like, okay, what's up, man? And he's like, my wife, she lost her engagement ring. We're up here like last night at 11 o'clock. We've been looking all night with flashlights. Could you help us? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I walked up about 100 yards, went to where they had their blanket. She looked horrible. She was like crying all night long. I found it in like 20 seconds. It was just beep, boom, here you go. And both of them just lost it. They started really emotional. The guy pulled out his wallet and gave me everything. I'm like, whoa, I don't want your money. I go, I'm happy to do this. He's like, you're taking it. He goes, you know what this means to us. And she gave me a hug. He gave me a hug, and they walked off. And I just went like, wow, that was cool. Continued detecting. And flashback, I moved to Cancun, Mexico. And that happened quite often out there early in the morning, people running up to me asking for help. And it was just like, there's a service here.
Yeah.
So I came back to Vancouver the end of 86, and I created a little company called Finders. This is before computers. And I just had flyers and rack cards, and I put it out community centers and wherever I could. In a year, I may get maybe a half a dozen calls, people calling me. And I was able to reunite people, and I saw the value in that. So I continued pressing hard and getting press. I have a way of getting free press. I do very well at marketing myself and the company. So come computer, I got it online, and I started getting more calls. And flashback 16 years ago, 2009, a stranger from Illinois reached out to me and said, I love what you're doing in Vancouver, how you're helping people. Have you thought about helping more? And I'm like, well, what are you thinking? Now, imagine this is online, right? So he's like, what about creating a directory where you can have other detectorists that you can show and teach how you've done this and set it up, and they can start doing this in their towns and cities. I thought, yeah, it's brilliant. I go, it's really good, but it's a money thing. I don't have the money. He says, don't worry about it. You create it, you build it, and I'll pay for it.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. And I go,
now, was this guy, Chris, was this a detectorist, or is this a guy who just stumbled across what he saw you doing?
It's a guy who just stumbled across my page, my YouTube channel, saw how I was affecting people's lives, and loved what I was doing and how it was affecting people's lives.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, he wanted to take it to another level, but who believes that, right? I mean, I kind of was really cautious. So I said, hey, can we get phone numbers? Can we talk? So we talked on the phone. I said, so what do you want from this? And he says, how about a percentage? And I said, sure. What do you think? And he goes, how about 25%? I said, how about 35%? He goes, great.
You're a poor negotiator, Chris.
I am. I just thought this guy's amazing. So I built it, designed it, lawyers, corporate lawyers. We had programmers, designers. It costs a lot of money to build this. It's not your typical website. And remember, this is 16, almost 17 years ago. So there's a lot of guts that go into this, a lot of whatever they call coding. So we got it up, and we listed it, and people started joining. Flashback 15 years. Every year it's like, I wanted to pay back his original investment and his percentage. And he would say every year, that's okay, keep it, put it back in the company and pay yourself.
Wow.
I'm like, my God. So I had a vision, you guys, of traveling across North America, meeting my members and grabbing footage from the people that are taking footage and trying to create a beautiful docu-series on this directory, its members, and how they affect people's lives. And I took out all my money. I bought a Mercedes van, just a Metris. It's not the big one. Logoed it up, solar powered, bed, everything, fridge. And I traveled across America, and I met a lot of my members. And I said to him, I'm going to take and put a lot of money into the account. Are you okay with that? Because I was taking my RSPs out to do this. And I said, I'm going to drop like 70, 80,000. Are you okay with that? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, darn. So I'm thinking to myself, I wonder why he's not okay with that. Then I get this email. I'd feel better if I gave you back your shares. It sounds like what you're on and what you're trying to do is beautiful. I encourage you to do it. Good luck. I'm sure you can use the 35%. I said, how much? Like, how much do you want to sell it to me for? He goes, nothing. If I have to buy it, I'll give you $1 or charge me $1. I've never met this guy to this day.
Oh, you've never met him in person?
Never met him.
Why?
I went to Chicago, and strangely enough, both times I was in Chicago, he was out of town. So it just didn't connect. But I love this man. I love the vision he had on the bigger picture of what I was doing. And now it's a directory I'm so proud of, and proud of the members and the people who are doing what I'm doing, all in 18 countries around the world, heavy based US. So yeah, it was an honor. This guy, I mean, again, I don't know him, but he's always here. I always email, text message him, send him news stories about the company and the directory and how we're doing.
I'm gonna show the website in a few minutes. I don't want to get ahead of myself yet. I'm gonna show how it works, the member links, the book of smiles. It's really impressive. So I'm gonna show it. So it is coming. I'm seeing some questions in the chat, Chris. Is the guy anonymous? Are you allowed to say what his name is? And whatever you say, we'll respect that.
Yeah, he is anonymous. He's an anonymous. He always has been. Yes.
Okay. Listen, if you want to let everyone know it's really Doug, it's okay.
You know, one thing he did tell me, which I thought was cool, was I'm like, let's pay back your original investment. He's like, look, I really don't need it. He said, to be honest with you, my wife and I have a yearly spending account that we can spend on whatever we want to do. And that year I wanted to help build this for you. And I'm like, wow. So
that's a real angel there.
This guy sounds like a secret Santa to me.
Oh my God. Yes.
Well,
Yes,
just
does,
enjoyment out of seeing
absolutely.
it. Yeah, it's such a nice concept. Go ahead, Lynn. I'm sorry, what?
I was going to say, so Chris, you don't even know his name, right?
I do know his name.
Oh, you know his name. You just
I
can't
know
tell
his
us.
name. I know he's from Illinois, and
But you don't know how to pronounce Illinois because there's no.
okay.
Drop the S.
That's a Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Thing.
Come on.
Right. Thank you very much. Datsun and Mazda, Datsun and Mazda.
Yeah, he's from Vancouver.
Vancouver.
I'm only joking, Chris.
No, that's okay, brother. I actually I played most of my soccer in the United States, so I have a bit of a slang from living there.
Do you remember who the first member to join the RingFinders was? I mean, I know you're going back a long, long time.
I honestly don't. I just remember I got a lot of questions. There was a lot of resistance when I created this directory in the beginning. People didn't believe it. They didn't think it was legit. They thought it was wrong. A lot of clubs looked at it like I was a devil child, I think.
I don't understand. Where is there an issue?
The issue was the fact that I accepted rewards. That the fact that I would accept a reward to help find something for somebody. The clubs were telling me, we don't do that. We do this for free. This is going to ruin the hobby. And I got the resistance mostly from clubs. And flashback now, I have clubs that have joined and they see the value. It took a little while for people to understand the directory is people like me. We have close to 270 members, and we work, most everybody's followed the footprint of a reward basis. We just ask, pay what you feel is fair for us to come out and help you find what you've lost. All we ask for is cover our gas, because now gas is so expensive and nobody should ever be out of pocket to try to help somebody.
And believe me, your time too. I mean,
I don't charge for time. I've never charged.
Well, I'm saying some of these guys might travel. You stop what you're doing. If you do something at the beach where it can't be out for too long, or you'll never. These guys stop what they're doing, drive out there, park. You got to pay for parking.
Yes.
Lug all your gear to the beach. Spend your time. You don't always find it in 30 seconds. It could take an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't think there's anything wrong with accepting a reward for it, or even charging, honestly.
No, and everybody on my directory are individual contractors. They're allowed to go any way they want. A lot, like I'd say 97% have followed in my footprint of working on a reward basis, and I'm never disappointed. I love it. I'm going off tomorrow. I'm taking a ferry ride, a 40-minute ferry over to the island to help somebody. They pay for my ferry, $72, my gas, and then they give me a reward if I can find it. So I love my job. My office is always different. It's beautiful. I went last week to a beautiful place called Whistler, BC, in a very, very cold lake where I found a Rolex for a young man. Wow. And that was a tough search. That was about a 4.5-hour search. I found it really quickly. I just couldn't get it up. It was probably in about close to 7 feet of water. I just couldn't scoop it up because of the rocks in the area were embedded into the bottom. So it made it very difficult, but we got it up.
Wow. I can't imagine doing that. So you're diving down for that.
I was up, like, if you watch my videos, I'm like this up to my chin with my detector, and I'm getting a signal. What I did was I built a platform of boulders where I could stand. So I got up to about here. Now I had some leverage where I could scoop, and that wasn't working because after 3 hours, and my legs were cramping. I was getting hypothermia because it was a really cold lake. It was a glacier-fed lake. Wow. And I looked at the kid, younger guy. I said, look, here's what we're going to do. I got a big log, like this wide, like a branch kind of a log, like 7 foot tall. And I stuck it right beside the target. I said, you're going to go down with my pinpointer, my Garrett carrot, and you're going to find that watch. It's right beside here. And he did. He got it with like the 4th attempt. So we got it up. And the beauty thing was, so many people during that day, this is less than 12 hours since he lost it. People were coming up. Are you looking for that Rolex that's lost off the dock? One person helped him the day before, and it was the word of the town. Not a very big town, but everybody knew there was a Rolex lost. The kid's he was gobsmacked because he knew everybody started knowing a Rolex was there. So we had to find it.
Yeah, you got to kind of stay. You can't leave that overnight once it gets out like that.
No, you couldn't. It had to be found. And unfortunately, fortunately, the water was zero visibility. I'd lost my hand at about maybe 5 inches. You couldn't see my hand. It was the allergy or something, because these glacier-fed lakes, they go green. You really can't see. So that was a benefit. Nobody else could see it. But everybody knew there was a Rolex there.
I want to bring up another one real fast. Another story of Chris's that I saw, I think just happened this week, or at least it hit the news this week. You're going to like this one, guys. I'm going to bring this up full screen, Chris. When you see it, you'll know what it is and you can tell the story.
Sure.
Now, Doug, what you're looking at here is a picture of 2020 Canadian gold medal winner, Olympic gold medalist, Madden Maley, and she reached out to Chris. Tell the story here, Chris. It was really exciting.
Yeah, I got a phone call from her husband, Max, who was also an Olympian at the same Olympics. He came in 10th. They're both rowers, and she was from an 8-team squad. He was a dual, so a 2-team. He came 10th. She came first. She was riding her bike through the trails of Stanley Park, a big park in Vancouver. And she had a gold Cartier bracelet. And, you know, if you know the gold Cartier bracelet, they screw together two pieces. There it is. You see the points there. That's where you screw them together. It's a big flaw with Cartier. I think there's a civil suit going on against this.
I love it how Chris thinks we've all had Cartier bracelets.
Linda?
No.
My wife shops there every week.
Ours are from Target A.
I find a lot of copies like this, but I haven't found one for myself.
Look, I didn't interrupt you.
She bought this from the podium money she got for standing on the podium as an athlete. You got paid X amount of dollars. She spent her whole podium money on buying this gold Cartier bracelet, put in Olympic champions. The other side had, I believe, mom and dad and the world team of 8. And
you see the engraving, Doug? She had a guide Olympic champion.
Yep.
I mean, that's one of a kind piece there. I mean, talk about a sentimental piece. Go ahead. I didn't mean to keep cutting you off, Chris.
This really caught my attention. What's that?
This one just really caught my attention. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no worries. She bought that. It was a commemorative bracelet for her to look at when she's working and look down and just remember that beautiful moment that she won a gold medal for herself, her team, her country. And she bought that just to be able to look at her wrist and know that she achieved the highest goal you could achieve as an athlete. And when she lost it, she was sick, as you could imagine. Her husband and a friend looked up and down the bike path and then gave up hope. And then he found the RingFinders. He called at 7:30 in the morning and started asking my thoughts if it's even worth, trying. And I said, tell me the story. And he said, my wife was riding. She had he didn't tell me Cartier. I guessed the gold bracelet that fell off. And I there's not too many gold bracelets that fall off. Cartiers can loosen. They can fall in two pieces. I said, is this a Cartier bracelet? And he went, yes. I said, okay. I go, bike path. Is it the big wide one where it's like pressed down rocks? He's like, yes, it is. I go, anybody would find that. I wasn't even thinking of leaving my place. It was like anybody, they would have found it going back. I said, tell me more. And after about 15, 20 minutes of talking, he said she took off on one path and it was narrow. And right then it caught my attention. A narrow pathway, when you're riding your bike like this, bushes on both sides, not too far, it could break off and go to the right. So I said, you got my attention. Let's meet at the park. I want to go where this narrow pathway was. And it was the narrow pathway about 200 yards up where she realized it was missing, stopped, dropped her bike and started running down the trail. So I thought if it was going to be anyway, a chance where we could find it's going to be there. So we get there. I got my metal detector and I said to Max, I'm not even turning this on. Let's eyeball the side and keep your eyes peeled because we're going to find it. We're going to find it on the right side. I swear to God, 20 seconds later, he's like, oh my God. And he bends down and holds it. And I swear to God, the guy was levitating. He was shaking and he was so excited. He was levitating. I'm like, yes, I was so happy. And then I found the other one about maybe 10 yards, 5 yards away. So we got both pieces, got it back to the wife, and we surprised her on FaceTime. So it was beautiful. I love to reconnect. The greatest thing, you guys.
I got a picture when you called her, FaceTimed her. What I love what he does too, Doug, and I would totally do this. He doesn't just say, oh, here it is from across the field. He'll go up to the person, whether they're in person or on the phone, kind of have a somber look on his face and kind of do like a, well, I tried my best and here it is. You know what I mean? Like, and look at and you get that emotional reaction. That's her at FaceTime at work as he holds up her Cartier bracelet. So it was incredible. If you go watch the video, it's on his YouTube, RingFinders. He just did a fantastic job with it. And let me just as you finish talking here, Chris.
Sure.
I think I have a photo also. That's you and her husband, Max.
Yeah.
Rekindling not only the Cartier bracelet, but then eventually returning it back to the Olympic gold medalist herself. Talk about a feel-good story. I mean, you don't get much more sentimental than that. Her, representing her country, winning gold, using her money to buy this, and then she loses it, and in comes the RingFinders. Not even with a metal detector, just listening to the story, understanding the environment, and through experience, saying, "Well, most likely it could be in this spot," and he takes the guy right there, and they find it.
And you guys, I don't want to make this sound like a Chris Turner show, because I have, like I say, close to getting on to close to 300 members who are amazing. These guys honestly are superheroes in their own ways. And all of you have found gold. We've all found jewelry. The story ends when you find it. It's somebody's story that's ended. It's beautiful for us. We find it's like, wow, it feels really good. But I've learned the connection, what's connected to these pieces, and how people feel when they lose it. And I have these members now doing what I do, and they're incredible. And I got to say, I don't have too many elements I have to fight. Our tide goes out almost a half a mile out here. I can wait. Like, I'm going to go out to look tomorrow. I'm going to take a ferry where this lady's son lost a gold ring, and she actually put her ring down to see how it would look, and she lost hers. So I got two rings to find. Wow. I know, and this has happened a few times where people want to test and they can't find their own, and they got a metal detector, still can't find it. I'm sorry, I'm just having a brain crash here where I was going with this. I get so excited. Where was I taking this? We're talking.
You had the tide that goes way out.
Okay, thank you, Doug. The tide goes way out at our beaches, so I can wait to the low. I can go in there, perform a grid search, north, south, east, west, line it with my scoop, and I'll most likely find these rings and connect these people back to their stories. And I absolutely love it. My members, I went everywhere, up East Coast, West Coast twice in meeting members. I was in Florida when a shark went by me, and I was like probably waist deep of water at a sandbar, and I had to get like up to here to get to it, and then I was waist deep, and I'm detecting, this is wintertime over in Key West, nobody on the beach, and I'm detecting a shark goes by, and my first thought was, where's my camera? I got to get my camera. I want to get footage. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, get out of there. Like, if I got hit there, nobody's on the beach, I'd have just bled out. So I very carefully maneuver my way back to shore. These guys are in shark-infested waters, jellyfish. I went to Virginia, met some people in North Carolina that have cottonmouths, water moccasins, rattlesnakes in Houston, members that are in these environments that like alligators. I had one guy, John Volek, a police officer in Houston. He's the creator of the Extreme Scoops. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have, yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, swear to God, the best scoops ever. They're
That's what I heard. The best sand scoops in the business, I heard.
Titanium for an old guy with a broken elbow. Titanium sand scoop weighs about 2.5 pounds, and it's incredible. This guy is doing a recovery in a river with alligators. And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, wow. What are you talking about? His buddy was on a bridge with a rifle.
Spotting him.
Exactly, Doug. Spotting him. And he goes, oh, don't worry about it. He says, no big deal. My buddy's a great shot. And I'm like, oh,
wow. Gee whiz.
I had members in Hawaii where they got a phone call from these people that caught a marlin, and they were gutting it in the harbor. They shouldn't have been, but they were. And the guy's ring falls off. They call the RingFinders. It's a husband and wife team. They get there, and the guys ask them to go in. Well, there's bull sharks in there, all the blood and guts.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's looking at the situation. He even sent me I had some footage of you can see a shadow going by where they got their foot in the water. I'm thinking, you didn't go in. Oh, yeah, I went in. I go, why? Because, well, we got them to tow the head of the fish out of the harbor. And as they were towing it, I went down and grabbed the ring. And I'm like, wow.
Hearing this, though, it's really surprising that you would get slack for asking for a donation. Like,
exactly. This is my thought.
You're doing all this for someone else. I mean, I would think that's the least. I would think you should be charging a rate, and then they would, somebody would probably wind up tipping you also.
Right.
It's amazing that a lot of the members, it's like they work on donation only, like optional. And look at this, the hours, the risk, the time, the gas. It's a really, you're doing it out of love.
You know what? It's an interesting footprint that I created, and I'll tell you why I created it. I did start with an hourly rate and a finder's fee when I started about 30 years ago, and I remember the first person when I found it, it probably cost him like $100. He goes, you know what? I would have paid you way more,
Sure.
but here you go. I'm like, I was happy. I was like, okay, and then. I think it was like my fourth call. A lady says, "I'm really sorry. I don't mean to bother you, but I lost my late grandmother's ring. That's my wedding band. I'm on welfare. I have 2 kids and I can't afford to give you anything. Would you find it out of the kindness of your heart to help me?" And right then I just thought, okay, I can't charge anybody. I got to do this on a reward basis because I don't want anybody to ever feel they can't afford to get back their ring. So that's how the footprint came about. And I've always been happy with it. I've always been good with it. The rewards are, it's an amazing scale, you know. Yeah, I'm surprised and shocked at what people will pay to get their rings back.
Well,
And I always
and
ask,
now-
are you okay with that? You know?
And then what about, I mean, you know, I know it's one of those things you don't like to think about, but what happens when you go out, invest all your time and you can't find it? Like, what's the percentage of successful recoveries and unsuccessful? Because I know I had a neighbor down the street come up to me, knocked on my door, knows what I do, and said, "Hey, my wife lost her bracelet in the side yard." I went over, bought a machine for him. We did it for like 4 hours, couldn't find it. She found it a week later. It was actually in her car in the console. Like, people think they lost it somewhere, but it might not be there.
Yeah.
You know what, Jason? 100%. Associational loss is looking down and putting yourself
Right.
in the area. That happens so much. I got a way around that now, and a lot of it's because of technology. I'll ask people, when's the last time you saw it on your hand? When we left the house, I go, "Do you have a doorbell camera?" They're like, "Yeah." I go, "Can you check it?"
Oh, good.
And they're like, "What?" I go, "Can you check your doorbell camera to make sure you had it on?" "Oh no, I know I had it on. I know I had to have lost it here at this store." I said, "Well, just check." All of a sudden I get that, "Oh my God, it wasn't on." So doorbell cameras,
Good
surveillance cameras, and photographs. I did a search, and this is my bad. About 3 weeks ago, a lady called me, and I got, and I don't normally get caught up in stories, but her husband went to play frisbee golf or frisbee football and lost it. And he's left-handed. He threw it with his left hand, felt it come off. So I knew it was on the field. I have ways with measuring tapes, and I'm measuring the whole thing off. 2 hours into the search and no ring, I walked up and said, "Do you happen to take any pictures of your husband during the game?" She's like, no, I didn't. "How about before?" She's like, "No, sir." And I said, "Okay." So I got another half of the field to go. And she comes back. She goes, "I did take a picture of him when we got here by this beautiful blossom tree. Can I look at it?" She's like, "Yeah." And I look at it. There's no ring on his hand.
Oh.
And that's before the game. So
He left it at the girlfriend's house.
yeah.
Check with Coldplay.
You know something? You're right, though, Jason. Associational loss. I don't know how many times I come into areas, especially if it's a backyard, and I do what I call a closure search. If it's not there, I'll look at them. I'll go, "Call me when you find it." They're like, "What?" I go, "Call me when you find it because you didn't lose it here." And then about a week later, "Oh my God, Mr. Turner, you're so right. You know where we found it?" And I love people. "Please call me. I want to hear where you find it." And I've heard so many stories in a refrigerator, pulling out some dinner.
Oh, yeah.
In a cupboard with Tetley tea. An elderly lady went up. Think you're reaching up like this to grab your tea bag. Her ring falls off, and she doesn't find it until the box is empty about a month later.
Wow.
She shakes the box, and there's her ring. So I have heard so many stories where they're found. I listen very carefully. My members and myself, you have to be a great detective. You have to learn to ask questions, ask to get yourself to the area. And I tell you what, the success rate, if the person's 100% sure, I'm 100% successful. If nobody's beat me to it, I will find it.
I believe you too, because as we're all detectorists, and you're looking for things that are probably, assuming it's not in the water, it's on the surface or maybe just below. So if someone could guide you to a general area, I would think you're most likely going to find it it's just like you said, you have to be a detective and make sure they're pretty precise about it, that they're really sure. That way you're at least investing your time up the right tree.
100%. 100%. Hey, can you hear this truck that's idling beside me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can hear it, but it's not
A little bit.
overwhelming. It's
Is
okay.
it not bad? Okay, because I can move if you want, but I'm going to ask him if he can shut off. Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I always go up to truckers and ask them to move too. What could go wrong?
Write him a ticket.
No, nothing.
No, well, Doug, while he's doing that, I'm going to bring up a couple of photos. Here he comes. Chris, I'm going to share a couple of photos. Can you hear me, Chris? Can you hear me?
Hang on. I'm going to put my earbud in because he won't turn it off. I guess it's. Yeah. Oh, it's that one there. I got you. Okay. No, that's okay, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's not bad, Chris. I can hear you okay. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Not hearing you. Hang on for a second.
All right, hold on. He's going to fiddle with his. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Is that bothering you? Because I can move somewhere else.
It's not bothering me. It's I'm talking so much I can barely notice it. And when you're talking, we won't hear it.
Okay, perfect.
So before I'm going to bring up the website in a minute and go over it, but I had a couple questions that I just think might be interesting before I bring it up.
Sure.
What was the most unusual item that you or a member recovered? Like I know you called the RingFinders, but you find watches, you find earrings. Was there anything like really bizarre that you or a member were asked to find, whether you found it or not?
Yeah, we often get called up for finding ashes. We get family members' ashes that were buried in the yard, and they want to dig them up before they move to take them with them.
Oh, wow.
So,
and they're buried in a metal box.
Well, they're usually buried in one of those metal containers, right?
Like an urn.
So that's always an interesting one. I think the ones that the most exciting, I know you all like this, is the house and property searches. You see what the RingFinders has done is it's opened up an opportunity in a lot of ways for members to get onto property. So people have joined my directory saying, hey, we don't really care about the rings. We just want to have an opportunity to get on people's properties, search their property. So if they get a call and it's a nice field, they'll say, look, here's your ring, keep it. We don't want your reward. Can we search your property? And they're like, you're taking the reward and you can search our property anytime. So there's a benefit there. But I think, Jason, one of the coolest things about our directory is it's opened up the doors for house and property searches. I've had members recover over $250,000 in gold and silver. It is opened up for insurance companies that are contacting us. I had 2 members make $18,000 on finding a diamond ring. They were divers. And so there's loads of opportunities apart from just finding your typical. I had a member find 60 1-ounce gold Cougarans. This is probably about 8 years ago. We valued it at $100,000.
Wow.
And it was found on property. The kids were talking, didn't mom and dad bury gold on our property? And this is after obviously their parents had passed. And they're like, yeah. And then they all sat down, talked about it. And they own the property. They own the house. They were talking about a shovel's length from the corner of the house. So they went out there, they rented metal detectors, they got a backhoe, they dug a trench, they could not find it. They found one of my members, and I was talking to my member, and he says, yeah, it's not there. I go, well, don't get too tied into one corner. There's 3 other corners. So they found it on the other corner.
Wow.
And
what country was that in?
That's in your country.
Oh, in America. Okay.
Oh yeah. All these, there's one other country, it was New Zealand, where somebody found, I think, $250,000 worth of gold. But this was 1-ounce gold Cougarans. The cool story was, we got to date them. I said to my member, I said, hey, these coins are going to have dates. Tell me when the first coin I think it was like 1972 is when this man started burying gold for his family and for himself, right? So 1972, I think up until 1987 or something like that. So you know how much gold was in 1972 for 1 ounce?
I don't know. Doug, do you remember?
Probably around $300 to $600.
Does that sound right?
$35.
Oh, Doug, you
Really?
overestimated.
$35
Wow.
an ounce. I mean, my God. I wish, you know,
Wow.
we would have bought it, but we dated it. We priced it $35 an ounce and then it started going up significantly over the years. But it was so cool to kind of research what he was spending on his coins, buried it, and his kids finally remembered. My member, here's the kind of guy he is. I'm not going to throw names out, but he found it when they weren't there. They showed him the area. He went there a couple times. He found a bag buried, and he ripped it a bit, and he could see stuff. And he stopped digging, and he went in, knocked on the window where the lady was baking, said, I think I found it. We're going to wait for your husband, because he wanted him, the husband, her husband, to be the first to touch that gold since his father had buried it for him. I thought that was beautiful. I don't even know if I could have done that. Honestly, I would have been so bloody excited, like, oh, gold.
And I'll tell you what, it's a testament too that he found it when the kids weren't there, because if you don't vet your members really well, a lot of people, hush the lips, grab the gold, see you later.
You would hope the people who have joined my directory are doing this for the right reasons. And to be honest, it's a great point. I've been running this company for going on 17 years. I've had to remove 4 people in 17 years for what you call wrongdoing.
Unethical.
And yeah, unethical. Thank you. And anybody who calls me and has anything to say about any of my members, it's not even a 3-strike thing. If I believe them and I talk to my member, I'm not feeling the vibe, they're gone. I cannot screen people more than a phone call. I talk to people, I listen to them, and I can usually tell how ethical they are just by their passion of how they want to help people. So
Yeah.
4 out of 17 years isn't bad.
No, that's really good. Let me show you the website, Doug. It's pretty cool, and I want to we're going to run through, how Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo would contact them. I'm going to make it full screen for a minute, and I'll see if I can maximize this over a little bit. Hang on. All right, so here's the RingFinders website, Doug, and it's theringfinders.com.
Okay.
And I did a trial earlier because I've actually used the site. I'll tell my personal story in a little bit. But let's say I'm going to put in 90210, only because I know that from the TV show, Doug.
You could take your video.
So if I do a search on 90210, look at all the things I get here. I can click into any of these, and I can find whatever I'm trying to look for. I can go by state. I can even type in a town. Let me do a better example so you can really see it. I'm going to try New Jersey. That's where I live, Doug. New Jersey, USA. So here's all the RingFinders that are in New Jersey. Shows what town they're in. Little pin marks of, I guess, where they live, but they do cover a lot of area. And what I like about it is I'm going to just choose a guy at random or girl at random. I'll take this top one, John Favano, who I don't know personally. Now, but if I was, a person just lost their ring, I lost it in Avalon, New Jersey. So I go to Avalon, I click on John. What I like about it, I see a picture of John. I see John's phone number. I see what John charges, if anything. I see other things he returned, the area he locates, and stories of some of his past finds with images of the people that he helped. So what it does is it puts me in my most anxious, nervous time. It adds a little bit of credibility. I know who this person is. I see they've done this successfully before. And I think that bridge is so important, where it's not just a random phone number. I call Chris, a stranger, I talk on the phone, and then some guy pulls up, and looks sketchy. I can see the whole thing right here. And I love the transparency of it.
I'm sorry for cutting you, Jason. If you scroll down a bit further, you'll see people's testimonials.
Yeah, the testimonials from the rings they've got. And this guy, like I said, this is one guy I chose randomly. And there's more and more. I can keep loading them.
These are people's testimonials of credibility of who he is and what he does. I created this right when I started the company. When I started doing it,
I was always asking for testimonials, and I was always taking pictures because I knew one day that would come. And it's crucial because if we had a company called the RingFinders with no testimonials, no pictures, how would you ever trust your precious with anybody?
No, I agree. And this one guy, hold on, I'm going to make us small for a second, like this. This one guy, John Favano. I mean, he must have recovered, Doug, as I scroll. I don't even know, 40, 50 rings or more. And this is one guy out of hundreds and hundreds of people.
He's up over 400.
Over 400 rings.
You'll see his book of smiles right there, 452 recoveries.
Oh, this is John's personal book of smiles.
Yes, we have our book that has over 17,000 recoveries. Everybody gets their own personal book. So once they make a recovery, it starts their book.
Yeah, so I saw somebody earlier in the chat, maybe they were joking, saying like, this guy might be, full of baloney a little bit. But if you go to every single RingFinder, there is documentation, there is pictures, there are the people's testimonials, the real life people. You think this guy made up 90,000 stories with names and trackable? Like, this is as legit and as transparent as it comes. So, and as someone who doesn't know anything about detecting, that lost something, goes to this site, I think they're instantly, you get that little bit of relief right off the bat, just because you see everything that's available to you. So I find that incredibly fast. I love how the website is designed and put together. It's easy to use. There's all the latest news. And the Book of Smiles down here, which I was looking at earlier, these are, I guess, all of the RingFinders cumulatively.
If you tap on somebody's name on the left side, you tap on their name and open up their own book.
Here's
so
one,
on there,
Doug. This was our friend. Let me go back. I just saw our good friend Allison Walker.
Allie,
if you click on her book, there's Allison. There's her contact page.
So Allison's contact page, I know she's found a lot of them, Doug. She's
found 184.
184.
And the thing about this too, the thing about this is, I personally add everybody's pictures into the book. So every day, every morning, every evening, I go in and I sit down and I add every day to the book. So everybody's book gets updated on a daily basis. And that goes along with the testimonial. So I'm the guy who runs the whole show on making sure everybody is getting listed for their recoveries. And I love it. I feel like a grandfather. Like, I get to watch all these beautiful stories come in, all these beautiful pictures, and see the smiles. It's honestly, you guys, the greatest job I ever had. And again, I can't stop saying how proud I am of this directory and all the people that have joined to help people. I mean, to help others. I find it amazing. There's so many amazing people out there helping.
I'm going to let this Book of Smiles roll through a little bit just so they can see. But there's over 17,000 recoveries. These are 17,000 human beings.
Real stories.
Names, locations. I mean, this is awesome. It's amazing. Can you?
I just found that one yesterday.
This one just I see your name on. Do you have? Not that I want Chris to brag. Do you have the most recoveries because you've been doing it?
No, sir. No. No, the California boys are kicking it. I got two members in California that have like close to 900 and 800 recoveries each.
Wow. That's amazing.
But big state, beautiful beaches, and yes, these guys are rock stars. I mean, honestly, it's not so much the numbers as it's the recoveries. It's being able to help and do this and get it back to the people. I'm blessed. I've got over 500 recoveries, and I live for the cause. I absolutely love them. But I just smile when I see all these pictures. It just makes me happy.
Now, I can't imagine that when you find someone's ring and give it to them, they would deny a photo. But some people are private, like your early donor. Is that part of the criteria where you say, like, look, would you mind if I take your picture? Do you ever get any resistance from the people?
Great question, Jason. Yes. If you scroll up, you'll see another book. I just started this a couple years ago. and it's the book of everything. So it's other things people find. So if you scroll up a bit more, keep going up.
I'm at the top.
No, sorry, go down. I'm sorry. I
Oh, down.
apologize. So there's one more book right there. And there's a book, knives, keys, wallets, anything and everything
Oh,
else
cell
apart
phones.
from
Yeah.
jewelry. So I should have started this when I started the company, but I wasn't adding cell phones back in the day. I wasn't adding keys. I just didn't find it significant. Property markers, now hearing aids, I'm adding everything now because these are recoveries people are going out to help people find. And let's face it, keys like that set of keys I found for that guy, he started crying. He
Yeah.
was so happy. I mean, these things mean a lot to people. It doesn't have to be jewelry. Cell phones, as you all know, are so stupid expensive, and they have so many memories on them. So, yeah, it's there's a water turnoff valve. I find a lot of those for people, and so back to your question, Jason. Some people do not feel comfortable in front of camera. We're up to 17,500 recoveries in total. I believe we're closer to probably 23,000, but there's a lot we haven't got photos. There's a lot of members that don't post their stories, unfortunately. There's members who don't take pictures, and there's members that just use the directory calls. Everybody's different. I can't tell everybody you got to take pictures. The ones that are taking pictures, the ones that are doing stories and blogging, Google loves the RingFinders. They rank us high. I share with members on how to promote themselves and get more calls, and it's working. So, but yes, some people do not want to get their picture taken. I will say to my members now, get a picture of you holding it with your smile and do your story, and we can report it.
I think there's some RingFinders in the chat. I haven't been looking at it, but I see Teresa, the treasure hunter, one of my moderators, saying Allie's in the chat. Allison Walker, who I'm sure you know, Chris.
Absolutely, yes. I met Allison in Toronto.
We love Allison. And I saw Smokin' Louie said shout out to Steve Stout. I don't know if that means Steve is here. We've had on the gig master, Doug, Steve, who loves doing the ring finding. He actually recommended it'd be a really fun show, and he is. I just find it incredible. I have a couple of questions. I'm going to pause this for a second. I have a couple of questions that I think were just interesting to me about the dynamic of how it works.
Okay.
Now, I'm curious, like in the States, if someone was in a state park and lost it, the rules are very strict about no metal detecting in state land. Are you allowed to go in if you don't have a digging tool? How do you work around these massive state parks?
What I find, and I tell my members, never go in anywhere you're not allowed. What I ask the people to do is get a hold of the park rangers, the people that lost their item, inform them about the RingFinders and the member, because it's easy. They can go to the RingFinders directory, see the member, and see this guy's legit, that this is what he does. And I've had members get permission to go in and recover the ring and leave. So I have had members. I remember Stephen that you're just talking about. He went in and found a ring in the state park. The ranger was actually there and watched the whole process of him finding it and him returning it, and how the lady was just freaking out. She's in the background with a big smile on her face. So yes, being on the directory helps people get into these areas with the help of the people that have lost the item.
Yeah, I would think if you don't have a shovel and you go up and tell the park ranger, I have a feeling they would make an exception.
They do. And I mean, all we need, honestly, is a recent loss on a park is a pinpointing or detector. If it's in the water, obviously your sand scoop, and off you go. So yeah, we've been able to get around that because of this directory, and it's very visible. They can see we're legit. We're not just somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
I think this RingFinder South Jersey said, hi, all, John here. I don't always know what the screen name is compared to the person.
John is the man you were just referring to.
Well, I just randomly picked the guy. Randomly picked the guy. So, John, kudos to you, brother, on all those successful ring recoveries.
Yes, brother John. He's a rock star out there. Along with Ed, there's another gentleman out there. These guys do very, very well. They're very good at what they do. And yeah, like I say, I'm proud of everybody on this directory. I can't tell you, I'm like a proud father. It just
I'm
makes me so
sure.
happy to see the stories come in.
I've got some questions that I got from email from other people. I'm going to ask a couple of them. Have you ever, while on a recovery, found a ring, brought it to the person, they go, "Oh no, that wasn't mine," and then to go back and find a second ring? Does that happen?
100%. Oh yeah, I can remember one right away. It was a white gold wedding band, lost by a swimming dock in the ocean. So I knew I'd get there about 4:35 in the morning. Tide would have been out. I could go there. The guy described it. I went out there in about 6 o'clock, about an hour of bridge searching. I found it, and I texted him. Like, he didn't want me to call. He said, "Text me when you find it. I'll come and pick it up." He didn't tell his wife he had lost it. He was so embarrassed. So I texted him, "I got your ring." He races out, comes in, he's like so happy, gives me a hug. He's looking at it, he puts it on, it's fitting. He's walking off and he stops. He goes, "Mr. Turner, I don't think this is my ring." I'm like, "Well, you said white gold and it fits you." He goes, "I think mine had writing in it." So I said, give me a little bit. I went back out in about 20 minutes. I found another white gold wedding band. It was a Tiffany and Company, and it had his wife's name. He goes, "That's it. It's the year we got married, and there's my wife's name." So yeah,
Wow.
it definitely happens. Definitely happens.
It never ceases to amaze me how many people lose rings at the beach, Doug.
Woo.
And millions of rings. It's insane.
You-
Have you
you-
ever?
you-
I got another question, Chris. This one
yeah,
was really funny.
yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever had a repeat customer
Oh,
that
yes.
contacts you and says, "You're not going to believe this. I lost it again"?
I can remember one right away as soon as you repeat, because he was such a nice guy. He lost a gold Mexican peso out of a setting he had that was a gift from his father, and it meant the world to him. Put me in a soccer field, put me in a pretty good area, and I found it in like 25 minutes. All these videos are on my YouTube channel, called RingFinders on YouTube. And I remember, and this goes back a while ago, I remember showing up and the guy was just so thrilled and so happy. Flashback about 10, 15 years later, he was embarrassed. He almost didn't call me. This time he lost the gold chain and pendant, the gold
Jeez.
coin. And he remembered putting it in a hat, going to
I'm
play,
going to put the pictures
and
up.
then coming back, putting the hat on and playing, and then throwing the hat to the sideline, not knowing the gold chain was in the hat.
Wow.
And I found that chain and gold pendant, and it was a great fake out. I totally faked them out again. So yeah, that definitely happens.
How about, Chris? I'm going to let the pictures play just for a minute.
Sure.
Have you ever had someone contact you for something they lost a long time ago? Maybe they stumbled across the site and they said, "Oh, my wife lost her ring in the garden 15 years ago," which is a whole different dynamic. Or most of the calls, they lost it, within 24 hours ago.
Those are, I think, for all of us, the funnest searches. When you can connect the dots after so many years, as you know, it doesn't matter if it's in a yard, if it's on your property, it's not going anywhere. If it's in a park, a beach, it's gone pretty quickly nowadays. So when I get those, I get excited to go out and search those. I really do. And yes, those are the funnest ones when they've been lost for 10 or 12 years. I found one where a lady slipped down a hill and broke, I think, her hip, an elderly lady, and lost the ring in the process. And there was a news story running on TV about who I am, what I do. And they called me and said, "This is a long shot." I think it was like 7 years ago this had happened. And I found that and got it back to her. I love those stories.
Now, that would be my personal favorite. Doug, if you don't mind, Doug, would you mind telling our story that recently happened where we did a recovery? Because that I remember how good we all felt and how like Chris said, it opened up so many more doors for us. I'll give you the floor, Doug.
Well, I have to know which one you're referring to.
The one who they actually asked us, "Hey, my daughter lost something. Can you go look for it?"
Okay. Oh, you don't want to tell it?
I talk a lot. I'm going to give you a chance to talk.
All right. We happened to do a farm, And it was, what was it, January or February? It was still cold. The ground was pretty frozen. And we kind of blew through it pretty quick. I think we really didn't want to be detecting that day. We didn't find a whole lot, so we kind of cut the day short. So we were saying our goodbyes and thank yous to the gentleman who allowed us on there. And the guy says, "Oh, I should have told you. My daughter lost a bracelet, a very expensive bracelet, last spring. And I should have told you about it. Maybe you could have looked for it." So Jason says, "Well, do you have any idea or approximately what part of the yard it was lost?" So he pointed to a spot. And of course, Jason, being as good a detectorist as he is, went over and in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was, he had the bracelet. And um, what was really nice about this was the word of that find got around the whole neighborhood, and everyone we've asked to detect their yard, they've allowed us to detect. Oh, you're the guys that found the bracelet,
Yeah.
John's bracelet. So the word good news spreads quickly, and it's really helped us obtain more permissions as a result. And of
Nice.
course, put smiles on a lot of faces.
Yeah,
Nice.
just like Chris said, you get
Well,
a call to find property markers that could very easily lead to detecting the whole property. So it's a service that you want to advertise that you do. It could really behoove you because a lot of detectorists, the hardest part is finding land. So
yes.
what a good in. Someone reaches out to you instead of you having to go try to track them down.
Well, congratulations on that recovery. Do you remember what? Do you remember? Was it a wide or was it a thin bracelet?
It was a big, thick Tiffany bracelet engraved, and it was amazing looking. When I found it, I knew I was looking for it. I knew if I found
Sure.
it, I was instantly returning it. But if
Right.
I
Right.
had found that in the wild on my own, it may have been the best find value wise that I've ever found.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Well done. You made somebody very happy. I'm sure
Yeah,
he's surprised her.
it gave
In
me a
in
taste of how the ring finders would be because Chris gets to live that moment over and over, watching that person's face. I mean, I'm rolling him here in the background. Let me bring him over again. 17,000 smiling faces that someone, either Chris or a member, went out and did that same exact service for them, Doug, which you don't get more satisfaction than that.
It's like Groundhog Day, you guys, when you're out there
yeah,
finding it. But I gotta tell you, you're as sad as a person when you don't. I feel gutted when I go out and I don't find it because I feel like, well, I just feel like they do. It's a sad moment when you have to say, I'm sorry, it's not here. So yeah, it's a kind of a balance, you know. You get the highs and then you get the lows.
Now, Chris,
well,
let me ask. Okay, Doug, I'm sorry. Did you have a question?
I just wanted to relay a little story to Chris. We thought approximately a year before, not in that immediate town, but very close to that, I found a class ring. Now it wasn't that old, 2005, but it was within the township where we were hunting. So I went to the principal of the school, and he was excited. He helped me locate the individual. We did all our homework, which really wasn't that much. Found the guy. He still lives in the area. Actually, probably 5 minutes from the high school.
Wow.
And after all the begging and pleading and cajoling, he didn't want the ring back.
No
So,
way.
Yeah.
it
How
was like
shocking.
it was. I mean, you would think the guy was a football player. It
Like,
was a given to him as a football player, and he didn't want it. So I
you
left
know,
it with the party whose property we found it on.
you know what? I have a similar story, Doug. I was at a beach where I found a silver class ring from 19, I think it was 80 something. It was like 30 years old. And the funnest thing about, sorry for moving you guys. I just want to get away from the truck. The fun thing about class rings, and I have members who have found rings that have been lost for 50 years and returned them back to the people in their 80s. And
Wow.
hearing the story, I had one guy. Can I tell you this one? This is
Yeah.
I have my own, but this one I remembered. It stuck with me. He was a diver in Minnesota. He finds a class ring. He tracks the owner. He's still alive in a home, and he returns it. It makes the press, and the guy tells his story. And this is what I love. If you can return these and hear the stories, they're usually beautiful. Unusual what happened to you, Doug. It happened to me too. We'll talk about that later. But this guy returns this one. The story goes, he bought the gold class ring before he was shipped to war. And he wasn't even going to graduate. And his teacher said to him, "Why do you want a class ring? You're not even going to graduate." He goes, "Because I want one." So he buys it, he gets it, and he loses it the next day going swimming at this pond. off the war he goes, and 50 years later he gets it back from
Wow.
one of our divers who found it. I love when you can return these. We all know wedding bands, virtually impossible if you find them. It's hard to track somebody nowadays at beaches because they're coming from all around different parts of the world visiting. So the chances are rare unless they phone us. That's the great thing. Now people do have a second chance. But I
Right.
had a ring that I found. It was a silver class ring. I researched, I tracked, got a hold of the guy, and he was on the phone saying, "That's incredible." As a matter of fact, my fiance and I were talking about that ring just the other night. I can't believe that you called. I said, "Well, it's here. It just come pick up." He's never picked it up. This is like 5 years ago. We saw it a few times, and he never picked it up. So I find that strange, but oh well,
You can
it
only
is
do
what
what
it
you
is.
can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Have you maintained any relationships over the years with people you've done recoveries? I would have to think that in that moment they're so thankful. Do you still keep in touch with any of these people that maybe you did a recovery for, last year, 5 years, 10 years ago?
About 25 years ago, I did a house and property search where a lady tore her house down looking for $30 million worth of gold.
Jeez.
Really crazy story. And we've been friends ever since. it was, I hired one of the best long range locators. His name was Bob Fitzgerald from Oregon. He came down, we put him on the street. He said, "Don't tell me the house." He used his equipment. He walked, he said, "It's this house, it's in the fireplace," and packed up and left. And, or no, the residual signature went away. So he said, "Somebody beat you to it. Somebody got it before you did, but it's leached into the fireplace." He gave me all this technical terms, and I believed him. She didn't. She tore her house down looking for it. It wasn't there. We were still friends to this day. Yeah. It's that one. Like I say, we're friends. We laugh about it. Fortunately, they were rich enough to build a beautiful home on that property. But
Yeah, they weren't paupers. Yeah.
yeah. But that one always kind of makes me smile. I personally, like, I think we touched it a little bit, Jason. There've been so many companies that wanted to, production companies that wanted to do a show on my business for RingFinders, and I'm extremely proud. And I wouldn't do anything to disrupt this beautiful service and its members. As much as I would love to get a show and show the world who we are and what we're doing, I can't do stupid. I can't go, "Doug, can you pretend this is your ring? Hey, Lynn, can you get mad at Doug for losing it? And hey, we're running out of time. Hey, Bill, give me a ring. Hey, could you pretend this is what they're gonna do?"
I'm
And I know
sure.
it because
Yeah.
they want to do live searches. I can't do live searches right now.
Yeah.
We got to use the footage I have that I collected. I have so many cool stories of recoveries. I found John Cryer's ring from Two and a Half Men. He was filming in
Doug,
Vancouver.
you were a big
The
fan, weren't
actor.
you?
What's that?
I think, Doug, weren't you a big fan of Two and a Half Men, the TV show?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Charlie Sheen's brother in the show.
yeah, John Cryer. Yes.
John Cryer, he was out filming and he lost his ring and he reached out to me and I didn't know who it was, right? I just got an email. "Could you help me?" I saw the name, but it didn't clue in. I got there and it's like, oh God, this is John Cryer. I got to find this ring. I mean, that would be good. That would be good publicity for our directory.
Yeah, yeah.
So I look at it, and it's a yard of grass right down two pathways of concrete, bike path and a pedestrian path. He was walking at night. He pulled his hands out of the pocket, caught his ring, and it slipped off. It was wet, raining, and he asked for help. And I looked and I said, you know what? I should have said you only have a 2.5% chance of finding this.
Oh,
But I should have. But I just said, I'll give you closure, John, but it doesn't look good because where you're showing me, anybody could find it. So I get there, I meet him. I'm looking at this, just a path that wide of grass. And he starts looking on the cobblestone walkway. I go probably 10 feet and I find his ring. And this ring had to have bounced and gone to the middle. If it bounced and rolled to the side, you'd still be able to eyeball it. The highest part of the grass was high. It was in the middle, and it made it right to the middle. It was like, thank you, God. Thank you.
Yeah.
I gave it to him. I said, John, look, forget about the reward. Could you just do a tweet out to your followers about the RingFinders? And he did. Our company has been on Good Morning America, Huffington Post, New York Times, Atlantic Magazine, Tamara Hall show interviewed me after the John Cryer. We've had so many stories in regards to the beauty of this directory and its members. And like I say, this is not about Chris Turner. This is about a global directory of metal detecting specialists. There's 70 members right now helping people. And again, I'm so proud of it. And I'm honored to have these people doing what they're doing and helping. And you know what? It's a great little income for us. I mean, there's a lot of retired people on here thanking me, saying, thank you so much for creating this. It gives me something to do. I love getting calls. I love making some extra money and helping people. So it's a win-win. And again, I can't speak highly enough of the people that have joined and that are affecting people's lives all across the United States, Canada, and in 18 countries. So
I'm going through the list of some of the countries. I mean, look at this, Doug. Switzerland, Puerto Rico, Norway, Italy, Hungary, France, Germany. It's really all over.
It's worldwide.
Just came in from Hi-Ho Silver. RingFinders is the best. Just renewed my territories for another year. Which, Chris, leads me into my next question is, if somebody in the chat thinks, oh, this is something I'd like to pursue, what is the process for someone that would like to apply to become a RingFinder? And I'll walk through on the website as you're explaining it.
If you go to the top of the page where it says join.
Yep.
And I'm going to go back to my location because it's hot in the sun here.
Okay.
And it's quiet over here. Now, I hope the truck wasn't bothering you guys.
No, it's okay.
No.
If you click on join and it says, okay, I'm back. If you click on join,
yep,
that will open up. It should open up.
And then I see join now.
Join now, yeah. There we go. So this explains the directory. You can keep scrolling.
Okay.
And it will explain everything. Now, these are locked locations. So if any of the locations where it says locked, you can't join in. And
someone else already has that area locked down.
Yeah, what happens is, when I created this, I was making the yellow pages of metal detecting specialists. It was considered the yellow pages. And I had one of my members say, Mr. Turner, if you make it so 100 people can join in one town, how do I ever get a call? Can you narrow it down and make it less? Gotcha. So we all have a chance. So I talked to my partner at the time, and he said, okay, what do you think? I said, well, let's go town, city, or beach, lake. So you can list yourself any town, city, or beach. And once 3 people join in that town, city, or beach, it locks that from anybody else joining.
Gotcha. Okay, so as long as they renew every year, they've got that area to themselves, or at least within 2 or 3 people.
Right. And some people see the value in buying all 3 spots, and they'll buy all 3 spots to lock it in for themselves.
Gotcha.
And I used to do perimeter locks. I don't do that anymore, but I've grandfathered a few people in that. In the beginning, people were saying, I'd like to buy 100-mile perimeter from where I live. So there's only a few that have that now, but I don't offer that anymore. It's just per town, city, or beach.
Gotcha. And, so as an example, I mean, I know no one knows my state, but I'm looking at New Jersey, which is where I live.
Yeah.
So right now, Long Beach Island, New Jersey is locked. I wouldn't be able to get that, but anywhere else in New Jersey, there's 2 or less people.
Right.
So that would be an opportunity for me if I so chose.
100%. 100%.
Gotcha. I understand exactly how it works. So when they come across this, let me bring you back in for a second.
Yeah.
I wanted to just.
Yeah, you're going to keep scrolling down, and
Okay.
now here it says it will talk about the license agreement. It talks about I read this. You tick that there. Tick I read and agree to terms. It opens up PayPal. One location is $195, and each additional location is $100 for people joining today. The question in people is, will I make my money back? I kind of laugh at that because I'm sitting at Starbucks. I spend more money at Starbucks than I ever would at here. Starbucks cost. My 4 cups a day, my sandwiches and stuff. It costs me. And I travel, you guys. I travel a lot. I'm going to be shipping off to the UK, shipping my van and everything over to the UK. I'm going to start searching for buried treasure out there. I'm hoping next year. But this site, it's guarantee one call and you've made your money back. And I help people set up. I help them promote themselves. I do a lot. I do individual calls. Anybody who knows me knows they can reach me anytime, and I'll help them any way I can. If somebody has a question about a target, a signal, or they're having a problem finding a ring, we'll go over it together. I'm so accessible, always have been, and I'm not your typical company where you join and you never hear a word back. I'm there to help, and I've always been that way. And I love my job, and I'm retired now. I'm a senior. I'm an old age pensioner. I'm a senior citizen, so I even got more time than I did when I used to work in film. So I love it. I really do.
Is there like a minimum, like a skill level that you would look for? Experience, like how do you vet the applicants? Are they vetted?
That's a very good question, Jason. Thank you. I got to say, Jason, phenomenal questions, and you guys are all good looking.
Even Doug? Even Doug?
Doug's a handsome man. Yeah, I request that everybody has a year of metal detecting experience because I want people to know their machine. I'll give you an example. I wonder, this always kind of kills me, is how many people rent a metal detector? How many people buy a metal detector? I know people that can buy a Vanquish. I had a guy call me. He bought a $500 Vanquish out here. It's $500 for a Vanquish. And he spent 2 days searching for his wife's engagement ring, big honking ring. And he calls me and says, Mr. Turner, I need your help. He called me like at 11 o'clock at night. And I'm working. I worked stupid hours. I used to work in film, 14-hour days. I was getting up at like 5 in the morning. He goes, I need your help. I need your help. We were looking for 2 days. We can't find you. Can you help me? I said, look, can we do this tomorrow night? He says, no, I want to do it now. If we can, I'll make it worth your while. I'll give you $1,000. I go, what beat you at? And I jumped up and he's like, okay, you got my attention. So I jumped up and I met him. I listened carefully to the story and I grid searched, I cut grid, I north, south, east, west, expanded my grid, and I looked, and I couldn't find it. And now it's like going 3 in the morning. I got to get up at 5. So I got like an hour sleep. I looked, were you ever by the water? And she's like, absolutely not. So we parted ways. I went home. I was at work and it was bugging me. And I just said, can I go back tonight? Like, I never want to go back without permission, right? If I don't find it, I always ask permission to go back and look because I don't want them seeing me there without their permission. Then they'll think I'm trying to scam them. So I just go, can I have your permission to go back tonight? And they're like, absolutely, please do. So you know where I went?
No.
To the water. Remember where she said, definitely not by the water? I found it.
Oh, so you're reading through the lines, trying to figure out the truth, and
it's not even the truth. It's
her perception of the truth might not be right in that moment.
The panic. Yeah, there's a panic factor where people blank out. And I get that from all the recoveries I've made and where people tell me they lost it to where I find it could be 30, 40, 50 yards away. And then they go, oh my God, I took them off and put them on my lap. I was putting suntan lotion on my kids. No, thank God you went there. So I've heard that so many times that I have to make sure I did everything. And I found it. The guy gave me that metal detector and a very nice reward. Wow. So I gave the metal detector to a young
young boy on our street that would always run up to my van when I'd come home to see what I found. He always wanted a metal detector, and I gave him the detector. He was thrilled.
Nice.
I,
Nice.
a lot of times people will rent and not find it. That always bugs me because I wonder if they think it's not there. And it is, because you ask any of my members, we've all gone there. I've gone to people's properties where there's holes everywhere. And I go, holes. I go, do you have a metal detector? And they're like, oh, we rented one. I go, why is there holes? We got signal. I go, but you lost this yesterday.
Yeah. You don't need a shovel.
No, yeah, but it beeped, and we thought maybe if we stepped on it. And it's funny because you drop a ring on the grass, you can step on 100 times, you can jump on it. It's not going to bury it. But they don't know. So
Right.
we can come in and make it look very easy. That's why I request everybody to have at least a year of metal detecting experience. That way I know they know their machines and they can give them a good service. And I won't accept anybody who's just bought a metal detector for that exact reason. They could miss it, you know?
No, I understand. Yeah, they are still representing the company. You want them to at least have a minimum experience level
A
because
skill set, definitely a skill set. Yeah, enough to go that they got more skill than the person that's hiring them.
yeah.
So you don't want them to have the exact same skill set. So that's where the year comes. It's important. I have a lot of veterans, a lot of people that I had a member who barely had a year experience. He's got more rings than probably anybody. Not as high as our one guy, but he's found a lot of rings. So a lot of these people catch on quickly.
And it comes in the
it's a
drive
story.
too, how motivated you are, how much time you put into it, like anything else. If you answer every call, if you're available, you're going to be more successful to the guy who may only has every other Friday available. It comes down to that too: time,
Right.
motivation, desire. But another question. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was
No,
going to
go
say
ahead.
another question I had is for a new member when they come on. I'm going to bring up. Let me bring up another picture here of. I'm going to pick on John again. When a new member is accepted, they have their area. They go out and they find a successful recovery. I see that they all seem to write like a little blog about it. Like here's a blog that I don't know if I clicked on the right one. Hold on, let me go back. But it looks like there's a blog about each thing that he found with a story, pictures. Is that something you encourage your members to do, not only to promote RingFinders, but to promote themselves as a RingFinder to document all this?
100%. 100%. Yes. And I knew this in the beginning. This was the help of the programmers that created, because when I set up the website, there was no blog page originally. And my programmers said, look, we should add a blog page. I said, okay, so how much is that going to cost? And what's the benefits to it? And because I thought he's just money grabbing, because we're throwing a lot of money to get this going. It wasn't my money, but it was my partners. And he said, well, look, at a blog is going to benefit you because down the road, Google's going to recognize it. And everybody's blog and titles are I try to teach people how we connect to Google. And I had my own personal website, and I had recoveries. I had hardly any hits. The RingFinders now, we're 16 years old. We have 17,000 recoveries. We have that many blogs, and we're using titles and tags that Google sees, and they rank us really high. And that's why we have our own personal blog page. The members that are blogging, telling stories, taking photographs, and sharing it, they're seeing higher numbers as well. So it's a win-win.
A great site too. Listen, from a guy who worked IT 30 years, it's an incredible site. And for people who might think like, oh, the fee is high, that site is expensive to maintain and control and have that SEO Google rank so that it comes up and people find you. That's expensive. Let me tell you how expensive that is. So it's not like it's a money grab by any means. You have to feed the machine that feeds everybody. And that's a really impressive website you have.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. Again, I'm so proud of it. And we're even being found now through AI, which is incredible. I find that incredible. I've been asking people, I always ask people, how'd you hear about the RingFinders? Well, we Googled, you popped up right away. Or we typed into ChatGPT and they told us to call the RingFinders. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of it. And thank you so again for your interest. And I was going to ask Rich and Lynn. You guys are both detectors too, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And you guys are more the relic hunters.
I'll bring them all up full screen.
Yeah, you're all relic hunters.
Well, we really like historic things the best.
Yeah.
Like, we live in a historic area, and personally that's what we love, but we've done houses of all ages, and in the process you dig up anything from hundreds of years old all the way up to newer stuff. So
I love what you guys do. I got to tell you, I was originally like a relic hunter. I loved history, and I did all like Vancouver when I was a kid growing up, and finding old padlocks and train switchblade locks from like the 1890s, and I just get so excited about that. Then I went to England, and it wrecked everything
oh
for me
yeah,
in Vancouver. I couldn't come back and find anything that excited me because we're only like 150 years here.
it's all
We're not
new
that
over
old.
here
It's
compared
all,
to
yeah,
that.
it's all new over there. I'm finding Roman coins, Celtic coins,
Yeah.
Roman brooches. Oh my God, it ruined me. So it
Well,
ruined me so much. I'm going back.
one question for you is, in the process of looking for somebody's item, no matter what it is, how many times do you find other things that are interesting, or unusual, or
Really, really rare, Lynn, because I don't dig. Most of my finds are recent, so I don't. If I get, and I have been on people's properties where I get a nice high like silver signal or a nice gold signal, but if it's not on the surface, I'm just using a pinpointer.
oh, you
Yeah.
So
can't dig it? Yeah.
these people are panicked. They're freaked out and they're praying you're going to find it. So I don't want to, hey, I got a good signal here. I'm going to check this out. Oh, hey, look at that. I got myself a silver coin. I don't want to put them through that. I don't want to put them through that. So
Yeah.
I make this as painless as possible. And what I tell all my members, and this is important, these people don't know any of us. And they're entrusting us with something so valuable. And I got to tell you, a ring, just a simple gold ring, and even a titanium or a tungsten carbon ring has so much value to these people. I mean, the significance to it, it's one of the most significant things we own, most valuable things we own. We can own a house, it burns down, we build another one. We can buy a beautiful car, get in an accident, buy another one through insurance. You lose your ring, you've lost a piece of a story that you can never get back if it was handed down for generations.
Right.
So it's such an amazing connection that we're reconnecting people with. So I try to make it painless. I tell all my members, and this is important, show them everything. This is really important. When I'm on a search, if I'm on the beach, I hold up my hand, I go, bottle cap, put in my pouch. Pull tab, put in my pouch. Tent peg, put in my pouch. I get their attention every time.
Yeah.
Some people will watch me like a hawk.
Sure.
Other people just turn their back and get on with their business and let me do my thing. But I don't care if they're 10 yards away, not looking at me. I'll yell out bottle cap because I don't want them turning and
I
seeing
like
me.
that.
So what I do, I encourage this to all my members because I do have like a half-hour talk with everybody that's joined my directory. It usually turns into hour because we love talking treasure. But I tell everybody, you got to show them. And at the end of the day, if I don't find what I'm looking for, I dump everything out in front of them. Say, look, if your ring was here, I would have found it. Now they drive home and they never have that question in their mind. I wonder if he kept it. I never
Yeah.
give them that reason to think or doubt my integrity, and that's important.
That's a great tip too.
Yeah.
By just yelling out bottle cap or whatever,
Yeah.
they see you scoop, they see you reach in the scoop, and if you don't tell them what it is, it just goes in your bag. They might, in the back of their mind, think, "Oh, maybe that was my ring, and he's got it in this." So I
Yeah.
love that. I love the transparency because
You have to be.
you're entrusting them with something that I don't even know if it's necessarily valuable, but it's the sentimental thing that to them
That's what it
so
is.
much more than the value.
Then the monetary value, the sentimental value, that's what I was trying to get to, outweighs so much. And I've seen people lose it for a carbon tungsten ring. They call those the poor man wedding bands. I've seen people break down and cry when I return it to them.
Sure.
Some of my rewards are higher than what I find for platinum or gold. It blows me away with how people are. So yeah, it's the sentimental value more than anything.
I want to share real quick, Lynn. Let me bring this up full screen. Now, Chris does hunt for pleasure sometimes too. Here he is with our friend Steve, the gig master. I think he was down in Maryland, Chris?
Virginia.
Virginia, I'm sorry. And I just wanted to show one of his finds that I thought was incredible. Lynn, do you recognize what this is?
Yes. A posy ring.
Yeah, it's
Bingo.
a posy ring, 1600s posy ring. And Chris found this with Steve, Gigmaster Steve, and I think this was valued at what, like almost $8,000 or $9,000, Chris?
Yeah, I think it was 8,000.
Wow.
That
And
was amazing.
that went to the property owner, because when Steve took me onto the property, he said, "Hey Chris, I have a deal with the property owner. Anything we find goes to her." I'm like, "Cool." So I found large cents, I found shielded nickels, I found a Civil War heel plate of the Clovers, I found a Civil War lock. I had so much fun on this property with Steve. And I remember I faked him out once, pretending I found gold, and we just laughed. And then I found gold. He's like, "Steve, check it out. Look what I found." You guys don't know me. I'm a terrific prankster. I love pranking people. I'm very well behaved right now, but I love to prank. When I played soccer, that's all I ever did. But I pranked Steve a bit. When he saw that, he didn't think it was real. He goes, "Where'd you get this?" I go, "I just found it." And it all went to the lady, the property owner, into her showcase. So that was really cool.
And maybe one day that lady will lose it and call you back out to find it again.
She'll be calling Steve, yeah.
or Steve. So, as someone who does it for pleasure and then does it as a business for people, is your approach differently? Where if you're going for someone, like you said, you listen to them, you try to narrow down, you listen between the lines. Where if it's just you going out with your buddy, are you more nonchalant, or are you just as methodical? Because that's
I'm more nonchalant. I don't know how you guys feel. I'll lock in if it's a good area. I sort of what I call freelance. I go with my heart. Like, I kind of listen to the feeling of the field and where it wants to take me. I kind of go where my loop takes me. And if it's like the Virginia, it was locking down. I started doing some cut grids. I wasn't like I would be doing for a ring, because a ring, you got to go low and slow. I'll put tape measures out a yard apart. I'll go from one side to the other really slow till I get down the channel. Then I'll come back and I'll just keep doing that. On fields, when I'm doing it for recreational, for my fun, I just go where my heart tells me. And a lot of times it's amazing where you end up and what you find.
Yeah, no, it is cool. Let me bring it up again. I just love this. I'm gonna run some of the Book of Smiles in the background while I finish up a question or two. And anybody who has a question for Chris, we're gonna wind up soon. Feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll try to keep an eye out.
And Jason, can I tell you, if you go, there's, I think, about page on the top. If you go to the about page.
Let me find it here. Hold on. Oh, I minimized it. Let me bring it up. Okay, I see it. Yep, the about page.
If you scroll, this is a video.
Oh, look at that shot of Chris. He looks like that most interesting man in the world. Remember that guy?
Yeah. This is like a song that was computer generated for the RingFinders, and it's just people's reactions.
Oh.
So if you hit that, and this was done by, if you hit that will play.
I'm going to mute it because my channel will be flagged if I play music.
I think it would be kind of cool to see just people's reactions, because I'll put it in a full screen.
I'll put it in a full screen. Hold on.
Sure. I just think this is how it affects people's lives.
Oh, you know what? It might not. Let me see. It might not let me play it if it's from YouTube.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
I'll play the smaller screen.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me bring it up again. There. So you guys we'll see some of just the natural reactions from people.
So this is what I get to feel every day when I'm helping people, to see how people are. And I got to tell you, there's nothing better than surprising somebody, and that's what I do, and that's what I love doing is the fake outs.
Yeah, well, I saw the one like you do where you don't tell them you found it. You go up. you kind of milk a somber look, and then you show them that ring, and they do.
Yeah.
It's just they totally break down,
This
and
is
that's got to be so satisfying.
a mother and daughter in her late father's ring
In the
that was
snow, you
lost and
found that.
found. Oh
In the
yeah.
snow.
Yeah. It's snow. I get as many calls in the wintertime as I do in the summer if it snows. So many people losing stuff in the snow. But it's so powerful to see what this service does. And this is myself and my other members are experiencing this. And it's just, my God, I love it. Best thing I've
Wow.
ever done in my life, Jason. It really is.
It's just amazing. Like I said, it's in a world where you fight through a lot of bad news, it's nice to just feel good. That's what I try to bring. And you're just touching people in their lowest point, losing something so sentimental. And then to get that reaction, it's just got to feel really good.
Oh my God. It is the best. I live for every call. Like, I'm excited. After I finish this call, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to drive to the ferry. I'm going to catch a ferry tonight to the island. I'm going to camp out there and wait to meet the lady tomorrow to help her. So that video there is, and that's what I lived across in North America in that little van. And I got to tell you, I love it. It's been so much fun, So that there, the one underneath that is a TV or a cell phone company. Telus did a story on me. Yeah, they did a beautiful story on the RingFinders. You can see all this on there. We have a news page with there's John Cryer holding his ring up there. There's Good Morning America there talking about the RingFinders. So I keep a lot of the press. I put it on there for any member. If you go to the news, I think there's a news section there.
I see the news section.
This will be, here's a member of mine in Florida who found over 10,000 silver mercury dimes, over 750 halves in paint cans in a house, hired by a lawyer, got paid well to go and find this. I mean, these stories, you guys, are crazy and they're fun. And it's not just rings. This is what could happen beyond this directory. So will you make your money back? There's my friend here who found the 60 gold coins.
Oh, this is the gold. Okay.
Yeah. Now he's found a few. He found 100,000 found 35 years later. So he went to Michigan and recovered, I think, $36,000 in gold coins and silver just recently. The calls are it's all over the place. So it takes one call to make your money back. It's not a sales pitch. I know you're going to have fun and I know you're going to make money. And one thing, when I was married, sadly I'm not anymore, but when I was married, my wife could never complain about me spending money on metal detectors because I was a crazy man. I love buying the newest, greatest because I made enough money from the RingFinders to always, supply me with whatever I wanted. So it
adds credibility too to the individual member. If they wanted to, go hunt a field or a house or something, now they're on the internet. There's credibility. They find, they return. It puts a stranger a little bit at ease. So it can even pay off in other ways too.
It does. Yeah, I think it really does. It's fun to see what could happen. And I get to see it all the time. So when I hang up here, I'm going to add some more pictures to the book.
No, that's amazing. I would love to see a physical book. Have you ever thought about a physical book of some of these stories, some of these pictures? I could see that being something that would really captivate people. I lost your audio, Chris. I don't hear your audio. I can't hear you. Do you know sign language? Oh, he disconnected his audio for a second. Guys, there's a link in the description of this video. If you want to check it out, go to theringfinders.com. If you want to apply, if it sounds like something that sounds interesting, fun, something you want to explore, go check it out after the show. I think it could open up so many doors, so many possibilities, and you get to be the hero for a day when you put smiles on faces like that. So if you've never done it, give it a lot of consideration. I think it's a huge win, and it makes the hobby look good. Are you back audio-wise, Chris? Nope, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Nope, I can't hear you. Let me see. Oh, wait. Yeah, you're muted. You must have muted it somehow, Chris. You're muted. I can't unmute you. You must have muted your microphone. He's looking. He's looking. Let's see. I can see that he's muted at the moment. Maybe there's a button on your earbuds that mutes it or unmutes it. Nah. I'm not sure. I'll see if he comes back in again. I was almost done while he fiddles with that. You know what I could try to do, Chris? I could try to kick you out and you could come join back in again. Do you want to try that?
He said okay. Yeah.
All right, I'll kick you out and come rejoin. All right, so I'm going to kick Chris out. Doug, it's the first time I've ever kicked a guest out.
Yeah, you've got some nerve.
Well, that's okay. Hopefully he comes. Well, we're almost done. If there's any questions, I will try to ask Chris when he comes back in, because I was curious if he plans on expanding this. I wanted to ask him, like, you saw the countries he's in. Is it something where he's actively trying to recruit more members, especially like some of these places where you would vacation? I would imagine beaches are a hot spot, Doug. You know how it is.
Oh.
I've seen Doug at the beach. He lathers himself all up, and then you're slippery and things fall off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's my favorite time at the beach, when I'm lathering up.
All right, here comes Chris. Let's see if he's got some. Are you there, Chris? You're not muted anymore. I don't hear you. Say something. Let me bring him over full screen.
I like the Lindiana. That's so cool.
I hear you.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're back.
Now I can't hear you.
I heard him.
At least it picked it to the end to not work.
I know. We can hear you.
We hear you.
You just muted yourself. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yep. Do you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, beautiful.
Now we're good to go.
I was just saying Lindiana Jones. I love that name. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, she's our she's our newest member. She's only been detecting less than a year. So, but she's found some really good things, and it's just the process. Sometimes the hunt is more exciting than the find.
It is.
Welcome to the most beautiful hobby, I think, in the world. One that costs you one time, and that's your equipment. Then it's just your effort and your dedication. Where if you were a golfer, every time you go out, you're paying. I love this hobby. It is a beautiful hobby. And to reconnect in that 6 degrees of separation, where you find something in the ground and you're the first to hold it. I can't describe how amazing that feels.
We say that all the time, the same thing.
Yeah, it really, truly is one of the greatest hobbies ever. And I'm glad you picked it up. I mean, you're going to have so much fun, and you're with a great group of people. Rich, I never got to talk to you much. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. I was going to say earlier that, yeah, we all enjoy the relics and the interesting finds, but for some reason this year we've all gotten returns just by chance. Jason always makes me kneel down when I'm giving it back to the homeowner, like I'm proposing. Yeah.
I hope they're women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far.
That's good. Well, I'm honored to meet you all. I wish you the best. And a friend of mine in the directory always says, "Gold luck to you all. Gold luck."
Oh, gold luck! I like that.
Yeah. And thank you for finding interest, Jason, in this directory and for spreading the love about it. I can't say enough about my members. I'm so proud of everybody on the directory.
Yeah, it's a great, like I said, and when you were gone, I told everyone, if it's something you're considering, check it out. All the information's on there. You can join the RingFinders down here. See if it's a good fit for you. I really think it's going to make the detectorist love it just as much as the people on there. And hey, if you give something good and return it back, we'll invite them on the show. I love a good feel-good story. So make sure you go check it out. He's doing incredible work there. So, Chris, I want to thank you again for making the time, coming on and joining us. And I'm going to keep following your journey, brother, and see what next things come down the line.
And I'm going to follow you all. And again, gold luck, and thank you so much for the love, you guys. You take care. All the best to you all.
Thank you, sir. You have a
keep
good one.
smiling, man. Okay,
Good
Take care,
night.
take
brother.
care. Thank you.
Good night.
Awesome, Lynn. Let me come up. I think I lost Doug. He might be coming back. I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah.
going to give him a minute. What do you think, Lynn? I mean, is
Oh
it
God.
something that you would consider? I'm not saying you have to go sign up, but just the fact that you're out there finding things for people, their lost treasures, these sentimental items in their most desperate of need. Does that sound something appealing to you?
Well, it's always appealing to try to give something back like that. I could have listened to those stories all night long
Yeah.
of the returns, and um, everybody feels good about it, and I think it's an amazing thing, and how it's exploded into something so big
I love
that
that book of smiles. I could look at those
yeah,
pictures all day long and watching those clips and check out his YouTube channel, the RingFinders on YouTube. They're shorter videos, 4 or 5 minutes. It's just him explaining it, a little bit of searching, and then the reveal. And then you get a good 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the reveal and just catching that raw emotion.
right,
It really hits you hard. So he does a great job. I'm
for
really proud
sure.
to say I know him. I think it's
Yep.
an awesome.
Yeah, really nice guy.
So
That,
I'm going to give
that's
everyone. Go ahead, Rich. What?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's something I was thinking about it already, just for having heard of the RingFinders
Right.
a lot of times. But now I think having talked to him and hearing it all explained, I think I probably will do it.
I'll tell you a story real fast before we get out of here. It's really late, but I guess it's been about 5 years ago, and my wife's best friend was at the beach with her family. Did I tell the story during the show?
No.
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
I told Chris before the show, so I was forgetting. She was at the beach with her family. Her husband, her kids took off their chains, their rings, put it in their shoe, which everyone does. But sometimes throughout the course of the day, picked up the shoe, forgot, and all the stuff went flying. They found a piece or two, but lost a lot of it. Your item hits the sand, it's gone. It's covered immediately. So they called me up and said, "Hey, would you mind coming down with a detector?" And I was working, I was too far. And I had heard of the RingFinders, but I didn't know much about them. So I told her, I said, "Go check out this RingFinders. I know there's guys around the shore or girls around the shore that'll come out and help you." And she did. She went to the site. She found somebody. I wish I knew their name. I even reached out to my wife's friend earlier today. She forgot the gentleman's name. It was 5 years ago. But she reached out. The guy came out within 20 minutes. He must have been in the area. Found every single thing. I think there was 6 things that went flying. He found all 6 of them.
Wow.
And it was just an amazing story. And it really was impactful to me because I kind of recommended them only because I had heard it in passing. And then it really put a lot of respect for this guy who I know how it is. Everyone and their mother, I did IT. Everyone and their mother, whoever had a computer question, would call me up. And if you're a detectorist, everyone and their mother,
Right.
is going to ask you. And the fact that he would dedicate his time, his gas, his energy, and then, find these things, I thought was incredible.
That's
I wish
pretty
I knew
neat.
his name. I'd give him a shout out.
Well, if you knew the town they were in,
I think
maybe
it was
you could-
Ocean City, New Jersey, but I don't know if more than one person covered that.
right. Well,
but
there can only be 3.
Yeah.
So,
But kudos to them. Kudos to
mm.
them. But Rich, we're going to wind it up. I'll give you everyone. Dougie's not here. I'll give you and Lynn the final word. But I did want to announce next week we're going to be back. It should be a fun guest next week, Rich. We are going to have on Steve Arnold from the TV show Meteorite Men. Was on the Science Channel for several years. I liked it a lot. Steve is a professional meteorite hunter, travels the globe finding some of these things that crash down to Earth. We're going to be talking about how you can find them, the science behind them, what they're worth. So it should be an out of this world episode.
Wow.
So I'm excited to have him. Steve Arnold from the hit show Meteorite Men, Rich. So bringing in the big guns.
It sounds very interesting.
I wanted to get a meteorite guy, and I was looking on the YouTubers. I couldn't find one that specialized in it. And then I took a long shot and reached out to Steve from the TV show. Nice guy, got back to me, said he'd be happy to come on. So we're going to pick his brain about something that I know nothing about.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
let's wind this up, Rich. I'll give you the final word, and then I'll give Lynn hers, and we'll get out of here.
Well, like I was saying, I think that I might want to become a ring finder, and I didn't see my town up there in New Jersey, so I think I'm good to go here.
That's
So
good. I would love it. I
yeah,
mean, can you imagine if we can get some extra footage of that too?
Yeah.
extra footage of that. Maybe if it's an old property, I can work that too. You know,
Yeah,
if I recover the person's item, but
I think you would find it. I think you'd do well. I think,
yeah,
like you said, it's really talking to them to make sure you can lock down that area, because sometimes in that moment of anxiety, like he said, maybe they thought they lost it over here, but really they lost it 5 hours earlier somewhere else. So
Right.
communication is probably key to successful recoveries.
Plus hunting everywhere, even where they said they were not.
Yeah, I was thinking like, man, have some of the guys might have to like crawl under the boardwalk at the beach, which is a lot of rings might fall down between the cracks of the boardwalk. Imagine some of the crazy places that a tiny little
Right.
object can fall.
That's
So,
for sure.
Lynn, any final words before we get out of here?
This weekend, if you find yourself in central New York, stop by the Madison Balkville Antique Show. It's along Route 20.
You have a
In
flyer you can hold up.
No, they didn't have flyers for this one.
Okay.
So it's a huge, huge show. It's actually there's two towns, Madison and Balkville, and the show is up and down the road in between these two towns.
Oh.
I am on a field called the East Expo field, which is the field that has most of the kind of antiques that I like and sell, on it, the early stuff. But there's a little bit of everything there, and it's a good time, and it's out in the country and fresh air, and it's a good time. So
All right. Well, if anybody's in that New York area, what was it called again, Lynn?
Madison Balkville.
Madison Balkville. I don't know how you spell Balkville.
It's Bouckville. That's one town. Madison's one town, and Balkville's the other town. It's Route 20, which bisects New York State, right in the middle.
Sounds good. They can Google it, I'm sure. And Lynn will be
Yeah.
there. Make sure you go check it out.
Yeah.
Lynn's always a lot of fun. Get some pictures with her and check out some of her incredible collection. So, all right, well, that's going to do it. Dougie's not here. He must have got knocked out, but I want to thank him for coming in. Don't forget, once again, next week, Steve Arnold from Meteorite Men. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And thank you again to Chris Turner for coming on and sharing all that
was
about
great.
these RingFinders. So from everybody who joined us all night, thank you very much. But we're going to take it off. We're going to get out of here. So, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting. And Lynn, we will see you on the next one.
Good night.
Later.
night.